Okay, so do you want to elaborate more on it's who you know, not what you know?
And I mean, don't underestimate the value of networking. Certainly, you know, for me, unless you're starting from a position of knowing somebody first, worry about learning your craft. Understand what you're trying to do. Figure out who you are as an artist, as a creator, as a performer. And as you step out into the world and do your creation and performance, eventually people are going to see that, and you're going to start, you know, making connections. And don't underestimate the power of disconnected connections, if that makes sense, or connections you may think irrelevant.
Yeah.
I won't get any names involved here, but you know, I've been online for a long time, 25, 30 years, and there are people that I've met in very casual and informal contexts online, you know, professional wrestling fan groups and things like that. That, you know, all of a sudden you find out, you know, this guy is you know, the well-known and prominent son of a you know, a multi-billion-dollar talent agent and producer in the music business, and you know, I actually ended up getting into the professional wrestling business through that group, right? I was just a fan running my mouth, and we kind of all go out and play like we're, type out like we're cutting promos and stuff like that on people, and then all of a sudden people in the business in my local area in North Carolina at the time started, wait, this guy, and you know, I started going to a couple of shows, and people already knew who I was because the business itself is tuned into the online fan base. And so, you know, you write something funny about somebody or a match review or something like that, and then all of a sudden 6 months later you find out that somebody printed it out and taped it up in the bathroom in the WWE locker room or something like that to tease somebody, you know. So it's just, you know, it's just those little connections. You can't underestimate anything. And I guess the caveat there for me would be you have to be careful to not rock star people. You know, when you're out when you are trying to meet somebody as a peer, you know, or as potentially a peer, somebody that aspires to be a peer, you can't walk up and fanboy. You know, you can't chase down Denzel Washington going, hey, I need an autograph and a selfie for my social media. Oh, and by the way, do you know an agent? Because as soon as you do that, you automatically have fallen into that kind of fan category. You know, and as performers, we all kind of recognize that there's a line there between, you know, one side of the stage and the other one. And if you put yourself on that other side of the stage, two people who are on this side of it, it's really hard to kind of back that off later on and go, oh no, well, I'm really, you know, one of the cool folks. I shouldn't say cool folks, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, I'm one of you or I'm not. Now I'm acting like I'm not. You know, and you get starstruck. Every single human in every single aspect of entertainment still takes their pants off one leg at a time. You know, and for a lot of people, especially in the music world, when you know, you've got these cats that are out on the road and dealing with the rock star thing 24/7. Most of them, after a show, they want to go someplace and be human. They want, you want to be around people that recognize you as a human being. Many years ago, in my travels, I had the opportunity, and I won't drop the name, but I met a very prominent bass player from a well-known band that's been around about 50 years. And we were talking after the show about the nature of just celebrity and things like that. And he said something to me I never forgot. He said, the thing you have to realize is that 97% of the people in that audience tonight can't imagine my lead singer on the commode. Which is a kind of a gross imagery, but it makes the point that as performers, once we step in front of that camera, once we step on that stage, once our voice is on the radio, to the vast majority of the population, we're not human anymore. We're a commodity. And now they see you in the store, they see you grabbing a beer at midnight down at the 7-Eleven, they see you at your grandmother's funeral or whatever. They don't care you're a person, right? I don't care that you're Bill Cosby mourning his son's death. I care that you're Bill Cosby, the famous guy on TV. I want your autograph. It doesn't matter to me if you're at a funeral,
Yeah.
you know? And a lot of, I mean, I've had it done to me and I'm nobody, you know what I mean? So I could definitely, you know, you see that. And it's such a tough line to walk, man, because as soon as you start trying to cut some of that off, then all of a sudden you're a jerk and you don't appreciate your fans and on and on. You know, you saw a lot of guys like, you know, Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam and some of those cats that came up in the grunge thing in the early 90s, which was really kind of a rejection of a lot of the commercialism and materialism in music at that time. And they really struggled with that. You know, it's like, well, how do I say I don't want all this rock star crap without sounding like I don't want fans?
That's a tough role.